We're back with the Screen Team, and we are getting ready to review, and when I say we, Jamie and I here on the show, and we're getting ready to review the movie called The Disaster Artist. And if you're not familiar with this film is based on the book, The Disaster Artist, which was based on the film The Room, which we just got done reviewing just a few seconds ago. Now, The Room is considered one of the worst films of all time. However, The Disaster Artist got really, really well reviewed. Let's see, James Franco, who I believe directed and wrote the film and also starred in the film, he got some really, really great performance reviews for everything that he did in this film. What did you think about The Disaster Artist, Jamie?
I really liked it. It kind of got built up in my head because I wasn't familiar with the source material. I'd never read the book, and I only vaguely knew about The Room beforehand. And, because, like, all I really knew about The Room was it's supposed to be a really bad movie, and there were little clips of it all over the internet, and you could go watch them. And when you watch them out of context, they really don't make any sense.
Yeah.
But they're kind of funny and they're weird. And then you watch them in the context of the movie, as we were just talking about, and it really doesn't make any sense, So this put it in perspective to a degree.
Yeah.
About why it was so crazy. So
it was crazy because you get to see a lot of the filming that a lot of the on-scene kind of stuff that we see with The Room, but we also get to see how it all kind of led up. We see how Tommy and Greg meet up and have a friendship, and you wouldn't think that these two guys would normally come together, but they had a similar love of acting.
Yeah.
And Greg was a shy. He loved to act, but he couldn't express himself really too well with acting. And he saw Tommy. He saw Tommy go up there and be like, "I'll handle this. Watch my performance." And they're doing a scene from
Streetcar Named
Desire, and Stella, and it's just so bad. But he just has this immense confidence that it was amazing when everybody else saw that it really wasn't. So Greg sees this and wants to hang out with them, be friends with them, and try to learn his secrets.
Yeah, which he really didn't, apparently.
Yeah.
Tommy seems like a very private, secretive type of guy.
Yeah.
And they really portray that in the film, how he didn't want anybody talking about him or asking where he's from and things like that, even though he has this strange accent. And
I'm from
Louisiana.
I'm from Louisiana. And for some reason, we find out that Tommy is pretty well off. He's got this money, but we don't know where this money is coming from. Because when they're starting to make the film, there's this scene where they want to go and get some cameras for the movie, right?
Yeah.
And they go and they're like, "Okay, well, what do you guys want?" "Well, we'll take this." "All right. So how long do you guys want to rent them?" And they're like, "Well, I don't want to rent them. I want to buy them." These two guys are like, "Well, that's not really how it works. It's cheaper to rent them."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, I'd rather just buy them." "Okay. Well, are you doing film or digital?" "We're going to do both."
And the only film shot in film and digital at the same time, which is just so bizarre.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. And we see the movie making process of the worst movie of all time, The Room. And this movie was so exact that when you see the side-by-side comparisons, it's pretty spot on.
"I did not hit her." Man, they really went out of their way to get that scene together. That was pretty neat.
And they show just how much of a hard time Tommy had remembering his lines. That scene where he's coming off of the, he's up on the
roof,
on the roof, and he's trying to remember the lines. "I did not do it. I didn't do it. I did not hit her." "Oh, hi, Greg." But he couldn't remember his lines.
"Hi, Mark."
"Oh, hi, Mark."
"Hi, Mark." Yeah,
oh, hi, Mark.
His name is Mark in The Room.
"Oh, hi, Mark."
But that was one thing that I thought was really funny about Disaster Artist, was how they referenced the filmmaking of The Room, and then they built this set, and the guy goes, "Hey, this looks just like the alley right out there." Why didn't we just film in the alley? But that was Tommy's vision, I guess.
Yeah. And we got Seth Rogen. He plays the DP in the movie, and he had a lot of great funny scenes in the film, and there's also a lot of cameos too. We see Zac Efron, who you mentioned in the last film about one of your favorite scenes was the bully or whatever, or the gangster, the thug, and he's played by Zac Efron in this film.
That's that kind of stuff that really pushes this movie over for me. Is I enjoy when they put people like that in a role like that, and you're just like, oh, that's different.
That's unexpected.
Zac Efron, the goody, cute kid or whatever, and he's playing this thug.
Yeah.
Or this actor who's playing a thug, and he's really wants to get it right,
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Is this? There's a lot of scenes that really made you laugh, and it's a comedy, but there's also a lot of drama points in this film as well. Were you surprised by that, or were you expecting a little bit of both?
Well, I was expecting a little bit of both because it's about their friendship too, and how Greg kind of has some opportunity that isn't presented to Tommy, even though he's the one that's behind this movie for them.
Right.
And then he gets a little jealous, and I feel like that probably really happened, but it didn't. I mean, overall, it didn't kill their friendship or anything, because they've stayed friends ever since, and they've made other projects together. They just had a new movie come out.
Did they really?
Yeah, it's called Best Friends, but the R is in parentheses, so it also says Best Fiends. and man, I've only seen previews, but it actually looks like a decent movie.
Yeah.
I mean, especially compared to The Room. But I mean, it looks like, oh wow, it's on par. If you just watch the trailer that I watch, you're like, wow, that looks like a cool murder mystery kind of thing, and because it looks like they really stepped up their game with effects and locations and things like that, and hopefully story telling and script or whatever. So we'll see, but it's getting pretty good reviews actually.
Sure.
So
would you recommend this to folks, Disaster Artist?
I definitely would, especially if you have any vague curiosity about Tommy Wiseau in general, if you know just of these clips or something, because he's all over the place. He's on Twitter, and he shows up in the most random places. Like he was at there was some award ceremony, and he was on the red carpet with Kris Jenner, of all people.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, well, of course he knows her.
Yeah.
She knows all the freaky weirdos of Hollywood, and so Tommy Wiseau showing up, and he's just grinning. He seems to genuinely enjoy being a part of Hollywood now.
Yeah, he definitely does.
That's cool. But
so my next question is, do you have to see The Room before you see The Disaster Artist?
I would suggest it, yeah.
Okay.
Just to get a fuller experience out of it, because, it was like, that's the way I did it, so.
That's the way I did it, too. You told me, you were like, you got to watch this one.
Watch The Room, yeah.
Before you watch this one.
So, if anybody out there, if you know me on Facebook or something like that, hit me up. I have The Room. So I'll let you borrow it, and then you can go rent Disaster Artist and get your mind blown or whatever.
I agree with Jamie. I agree with Jamie. If you want to get the full effect of The Disaster Artist, you have to watch The Room.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Just to know what they're referencing and what they're comparing it to and trying to replicate.
Jamie, we gotta review Friends or Fiends or whatever it's called. Best Fiends.
Best Fiends.
We gotta review that next, man. Jamie,
sure.
I appreciate it, and thank you for bringing that to our attention, man. We appreciate you. He's Jamie. I'm Chris. We're part of the Screen Team. We got more reviews coming your way next, right here on KWOC.